First off, fuck George Zimmerman. Fuck Robert Zimmerman. Fuck the Stanford police. The Florida judicial system can go to hell. And R.I.P. Trayvon Martin, young 17-year-old boy who was murdered in cold blood by 30-year-old George Zimmerman. He had that. What is wrong with the world? Why do our young African Americans keep dying? You know it's nearly unexpected for an African American to make it past the age of 18 or 21 in the USA. This horrific act of violence displayed upon young Trayvon Martin taints America.
17 years old. Didn't even get to see his 18. All because of a hoodie and the color of his skin.
Unfortunately, this is way too common.
Trayvon Martin was an innocent young black man who had aspirations and goals. Did you know white supremacists hacked his email account to try to slander stereotypical facts about him? Did you know that the Black Panther Party has a $10,000 hit on Zimmerman's head?
In Trayvon Martin's case, you have George Zimmerman.
Fuck Zimmerman.
While on the phone with the 911 dispatcher, George Zimmerman follows Trayvon Martin.
Neighborhood watch, not even law enforcement.
The dispatcher tells him, "Sir, we don't need you to do that." But he continues to follow young Trayvon anyway.
So I guess us as blacks can't do stuff freely anymore. We have to be questioned, under suspicion, for what we look like. What type of propaganda is that?
If I see some 30-something-year-old man chasing me with a gun strapped to him, of course I'm gonna be freaked out.
Zimmerman's word, quote unquote, was, "These assholes always get away." What did he mean by these assholes? I know for damn sure he wasn't talking about the youth. He was talking about blacks.
Now let's think logics here. A 17-year-old boy is not gonna attack a 30-year-old man. I wouldn't do that shit. When I was 17, I tried to fight my dad and he like 40 and this guy knocked me on my head. I already know what that is. George Zimmerman says that Trayvon overpowered him, put him on the ground, and was bashing his head against the concrete and broke his nose. Now, wait a minute. A 17-year-old boy overpowered you. A 17-year-old boy with a clean record against you, who has a record of assaulting a police officer? You assault a police officer, but you can't handle as a 17-year-old boy. You feel your life is threatened. You say that you were screaming for help. I'ma call bullshit on that one. I'ma call bullshit on the Stanford police. Did you see that tape? These motherfuckers treated him like a house guest. Zimmerman states that he suffered a broken nose and a bunch of scrapes and hits to the head. You can't see any sign of Zimmerman damage whatsoever. He has no limp in his step. He seems perfectly unharmed. Boy, don't you wish you were there? Woo, I would love to be the one to be like, bullshit, I got the whole thing on camera. Bitch, you murdered that boy in cold blood with your racist ass. I'm sorry. I'm hot about this shit. Simply because young brothers these days fear for their lives. They can't grow up. They can't live. They can't have kids of their own. Why are all that young black men catching bullets? Huh? Answer me that.
I should not fear for my life.
This always happens. This always happens to our brothers. Young black men getting shot, killed over nothing. Horrific acts of violence bestowed on young black men for no reason whatsoever.
Our black leaders had a vision for us to succeed and move on. Not for us to be dying at young ages.
Killed, murdered, end of story. And the worst part, the killers still ain't caught.
That murderers can walk free.
These murderers walk free.
What kind of message does that send to people?
That the murderer of their son walks. That he is in no shape or form being punished by this thing set up that we call the legal judicial system. We are supposed to have faith in the law. This corrupts all of that.
I myself, as a young black man, am fed up.
I have lost complete faith in the American judicial system.
Change needs to happen.
And it's a shame what happened to young Trayvon Martin. That is a damn shame.
Trayvon Martin was going somewhere with his life.
But it happens all over. We have our own Trayvon Martin story right here in Seattle.
I still have open wounds in my heart from that night, February 12th. That's when mine was taken from me. 2012, they said the world was going to end. My world really ended. Outside that local nightclub, when I lost my cousin Desmond, I can feel the pain of the nation. I can feel the pain of Trayvon's family, because I myself am going through the same thing with his family.
The person who murdered Desmond Jackson is still walking free.
Desmond Jackson's murderers need to be in the pen, rotting away.
I pray to God every day that I will see the type of media and attention paid to Trayvon Martin on Desmond Jackson. I pray for justice for my cousin every day. Police haven't done anything. It's sickening.
We are fed up.
I see affiliates of the murderer walking around every day. And it's worse because you know who killed Trayvon Martin. You know he murdered him. You know he shot him. One man is up with a gun. There's a kid on the ground dead. What more do you need?
This boils my blood. That racist bastard needs to see a 25 to life.
Had this been flipped and that was a grown black man and a young white boy, I swear that man would be facing the death penalty right now. Tell me I'm lying. I want you to tell me I'm lying. Look me in the eye and tell me that I'm lying. You can't do it. Real shit.
All hell would break loose.
This is probably the hardest thing that young black men have to face. Death at a young age.
When is it gonna end? We ask ourselves that constantly.
Trayvon Martin was 17. Desmond Jackson was 22. Trayvon Martin was murdered by George Zimmerman. Gunshot after walking from a convenience store being followed. Desmond Jackson was murdered outside of a nightclub. Shot 4 times to the chest. Minding his own business. There are so many cases, like Alan Joplin's killer still is walking around. People are out here screaming for justice every day. Justice for my young boy that's been murdered. Justice for my family member that was just shot and killed. I want to see that killer penalized. I want to have faith in the law, that the law will do something about my friend or family member or son or anyone that's just been killed, shot, murdered. I want to see that person go to jail, locked up, dead. Justice, whatever justice that may be, you want to see it happen. Trayvon Martin has no justice. Desmond Jackson has no justice.
And we need to do something about this.
Fuck the Sanford police. Fuck Seattle police. Fuck the American judicial system. That is why young black men retaliate. That is why you have so many young black men shooting each other. Cause ain't no one doing shit.
The last straw has been pulled on the camel's back. For Trayvon Martin, for Desmond Jackson, Alan Joplin, Quincy Coleman, America needs to wake up.
Arizona's for Trayvon Martin. Desmond's favorite bottle was Bacardi.
Rest in paradise to Trayvon Martin. Age 17. Who knows what he could have done in this world? He could have been the next president. He didn't even have a record. They fingerprinted him. The police took hours to identify him because he had no record. He hadn't been arrested one time. 2
promising young black men, their lives tragically shortened over nothing. They say there's a reason for everything. So why did these young black men die for no reason? This is nothing new, and it's a damn shame that it happened. R.I.P. Trayvon Martin, R.I.P. Desmond Jackson, R.I.P. to all the young black brothers out there that are murdered and killed and the killer's still walking around free. I feel your pain, and I'm sorry. Just leave it in God's hands.